Oh man, my Tethered Studios team, my Tethered Studios community, what the fuck is up? There's no broadcast quite like the broadcast we can give you from the goddamn bed. So, tonight we're coming to you with a little bit of a different experience and a little bit of a different frequency. As you can tell by the title of the video, we've got much to really celebrate and enjoy. I am like buzzing right now. I just got the first glimpse, the first preview, the first listen. I was a part of the album unveiling, and today we're really here to just sing praises and give joy to the birth of the 15th, did you hear that right? The 15th studio album by none other than the founder of Dolphin Boy Records, Slumpy Melatonin, Mr. Melatonin. Mr. Melatonin is actually grooming himself and finishing up in the shower. I hopped out early because I had to, just the electricity of the album is like, it's like nothing I've ever experienced before from this artist. And so anywho, we're doing something a little different tonight. Usually I write press releases for Dennis in the comfort of my own writing utensil. And today I just thought, since you bitches can't read, we might as well fucking do a video press release and just give some context that I know this humble king is not going to give to you girls. And I just feel like it's really important because even if 15 doesn't really mean shit to y'all, 15 means a lot to him. It means a lot to his story, and it means a lot to the narrative and the overture of the artist that you're experiencing. So a little bit of background on Slumpy Melatonin. The derivatives of slump actually originate for Dennis II as like an onset nickname from like the early days of like high school. So we're talking, this is an identity that started walking with this person soon, like as early as the 2010s. And slowly became just a sort of moniker that was really just based on like how people perceived and experienced his energy. And one thing led to another. He'll really speak about this a lot, throughout the label, but Slumpy Melatonin really represented for him a lot of inner child wounding. And I could really go in depth about the derivatives of like what the specific etchings and woundings and moldings he really walked with were, but a lot of them were rooted in like deeply discriminative like narratives and labels that belong to like a person of his identity and makeup. And to be honest with you, watching this artist, Slumpy Melatonin is also one of the first artists to ever go through Tethered Studios residency program. So he's been a long onset resident of the studio, and has experienced pretty much like every type of curation. He was our go-to for the majority of like my directorial debut with That Shit Crazy. Go run that up if you've never fucking peeped it. It's on the channel. So Slumpy Melatonin has really been immersed and the first onset believer in sort of the work that I could offer to artists. And specifically because he was so exclamatory in his desire for wholeness. And many of us as artists know that because so much of our work really comes from our ability to channel, it can be very easy to make a very long and successful career off of the fragmentation of your inner being. And so, for Dennis, for Slumpy, it was all about knowing that as many fruits as can come with profiting off of my pain, I want to see the profits, the joy, the abundance that can propagate from my abundance and prosperity as well. And that's pretty much the mantra for Tethered Studios. So he obviously took to the studios programming and services very quickly, and is just like the first walking testimonial of like how transformative this space can really be for us as artists and as individuals. So that's a little bit of a background context, is like where and how long. So again, like Slumpy Melatonin has been around on this earth for like over 15 years, and he's been choosing to consciously make what we would consider now as like albums or like these full-length stories for over the last decade, intentionally. And, you know, but he's been a composer his entire life, you know, more so the source of who he is has been a composer his entire life. So there's nothing really new to the expression that we're getting, contrary to how you may be coming to consciousness about this person's journey. It's very long, and yeah, so many different people have been a part of it. But I just really wanted to come here to just sing praises to specifically his 15th body of work. For many of you who know, I'm pretty candid about the numerology and the sacred mathematics that make up Dennis and I as individuals. And, you know, the 15 archetype, the devil archetype, is so cataclysmic in terms of like what the nebula of Dennis is, what the nebula of Slumpy is. So to be at 15, I know that Slumpy was calling on me as, you know, his trusted, you know, studio expressionist to like make sure that when something really massive happens, like in their life, when a major achievement happens, like there's what he feels internally. And obviously he has a sense of like personal drive. But at the same time, like, you know, part of what I do is like business development and engagement here with the studio. And much like, you know, modeling after the Black Chambers of Commerce that I've like been a part of and worked within, you know, throughout my adult life, I wanted to bring that to, you know, the spiritual psychic arts space that Tethered Studios pioneers and serve that for our artists. So because we love slumpy melatonin the fucking long way over here on Tethered Studios, I just, this is my responsibility to make sure that I present him at this time, because I mean, many of you bitches will never see 15 albums in your life, but also if you don't know the tea about Dolphin Boy Records, this is a one-man show. It's Dennis, the man behind Slumpy Melatonin, is also, this is his 39th album, and he is just 28 years old, freshly. So, you know, there is a notable bigness and gift and genius that's happening, you know, in real time. And it has really nothing to do with external awareness of it. It's kind of one of those things that is like the keeper of my husband's truth, my close collaborator and friend's truth. I just have to make sure that I'm doing this for historical purposes. So that's why we're really here. That's why I'm just like, again, I'm buzzing. Like I said, I was going to write this down. I always do my press releases for his work, like written wise, but, and you girls know that I'm never short for fucking words, but I just think people can't read, like I said. So we really need to make sure that you girls know this and it's at the fore. So presenting to you Tethered Studios unpacking of the Beat Architect. And this is as autoethnographic as it gets. This is as anthemic as it gets for this artist. This is the sort of the anthology of who he is, you know what I mean? Like we hear about so many artists who like come into their knowing about like what they are. And I feel like to have arrived in the new world, to be under this energy of, you know, the sacred 47 like nebula, to feel sandwiched in between those giant chakras on this planet at this time, it all feels really aligned that on this day, you know, he has really stepped into his wholeness and can claim that, you know what I mean? And so a little bit of background around slumpy melatonin, and when we talked about like why he considers that to be like sort of this derivative of an inner child wound. Dennis has a very crazy fucking life story. And in summation, in the sweetest December of 1996, Dennis's birth parents, earth parents, were set to conceive a child, and they were planning for a miracle. And Dennis actually was born on the exact same day as his father. And his father is also named Dennis, Alfredo Galindo the first. And so the whole story with Dennis was that if he did in fact come out on December 26th, which is also fucking sacred, it's first day of Kwanzaa, it's a fucking Jesus Christ incarnate type of shit. But if he did also come out as a Christmas baby on his father's exact birthday, then he would have to be named Dennis. And it would be proven that he was going to literally follow his father's footprint. And you need a little bit of information about Dennis's father, who is also a massive change maker and a very big energy in and of himself, regardless of his like relationship to even just like Dennis as a person. Dennis's family like are all indigenous Hondurans. Their whole lineage derives all the way back to that country. And so, his father was a premature baby and was born the size of like a hand. And he was born on December 26th prematurely. And his parents used to like feed him. They were like poor. They're from San Pedro Sula. Like they're truly a real humble origin story. But his father was born on December 26th and was like the risk of him like staying alive and like being a healthy human being was like very slim to none. And so the story goes is that this child that really had to have a lot of divine intervention and assistance to like stay alive and to stay well was in fact come on, got no interruption here. We just got a slick bean walking in. Anyways, I'm just telling a little bit of background story and context about your life. So anywho, this original Dennis got this very fragile existence. And if you know anything about fucking basic brown history, if you're in Atlanta, you might know this, but his father went on to be one of the like I don't know if there's any other Honduran architect who has made history in Atlanta and is responsible for like major portions of the Atlanta skyline, kind of like Dennis's dad. So that's kind of telling you that the architect kind of came out of this soul who, like I said, had this very fragile existence. And so fast forward to December of 1996, when My Sweet Peach was set to be due. And it was a big deal because of the success that his father had seen, sort of just based on his soul's incarnation. The sort of cosmic conception of a son being possibly born on the same day as this father who made certain history for like a country of people, truly, in the United States. And so his father would like go up to his mother's stomach and be like, come out on my birthday. And sure enough, at 1 p.m. that day, December 26th, a fully healthy, full-term being came out. And it's the craziest thing. And so whatever names they had for him were out the window because he had to be Dennis II. And that is why you know him now to be Dennis II, the man behind every artist that you love. And, that story is so huge. But the bigger thing that I'm talking about isn't even just the origins of it, but more so the pressures. Because when you have a calling on your life that predates you right at birth, like you come out and people are like, well, this one, and he's like not an only child. He's got, several other siblings. So it's like, this one's got to be a big deal because his dad, like I said, is doing things that like no one else, even in his like family lineage, is or has done in terms of like achievement, Capricorn shit. So when we talk about the 15 archetype and we talk about the devil archetype, there is this mounting pressure that started in that winter and has been sort of boiling over for this artist pretty much the entire way through. And so you have this child who is being taught about themselves through the lens of another's success and, also really being taught and spoken over this sort of architecture, this sacred architecture that we're all like assuming is supposed to be passed down, because I guess that's how we think when it comes to children. And, Dennis didn't really have much of a choice other than to accept that, And so when we talk about slumpy melatonin, it sensitively enough for this artist, it really was a derivative of a time in his life when, maybe that drive and ambition wasn't even prevalent, it felt, and, maybe people would have considered him to be sluggish, lazy, stupid, and unconcerned, even at certain points, in his adolescent years. And, for the average teenager, okay, but when you're a kid who has that life story, that sort of naming, that sort of prophetic story, I don't really think there's much room for that type of deviance from the expectation at all. And so Slumpy Melatonin, again, in the 2010s was born, and then he ironically, I think I just wanted to give a little bit of this background because this 15th album, this sort of beat architect is like the big reveal that in fact it was there, the architecture gene, you know, the architecture ability, and it just showed up in his unique, special way. There's the man of the hour. Give it up. Give it up.
Hey,
late night television. Here, we're gonna go all the way because this is for you. He just hopped out the shower.
Yeah.
Clean. Oh no, I need that for us.
Yeah. Wow.
So anywho, I'm just gonna. You just don't need to talk for a second because I'm.
Sure,
this is part of the studio, like giving you some of the information. But anywho, yeah. So to be at Slumpy Melatonin, which is the CEO and founder of Dolphin Boy Records, 15th album is massive. First of all, the amount of time we could talk about is massive, but this particular body of work, after just experiencing it, after watching this person make it, it is the biggest reveal for him personally, for our family, for his family, this sort of reclamation that, you know, when it comes to our children, you know, these blessings that we have now innovated on top of with our seed, right, are surely there. And it's just, this album really, I hope it promotes a level of open-mindedness, that we are remaining curious to understand how we can expand these beautiful ancient arts that are, you know, like I said, he really, I mean, art would have been in his blood. His dad is like architects are like the highest paid art profession you can find. Like, it's the most stable artwork you could do. So it's no surprise that he's doing what he's doing, building a label, building, you know, these bodies of work that are universes within themselves. He was very much born and bred for it. But I just think no one in his lineage expected it to be sonically, expected it to be in the world of vibrations, expected it to be in the world of sound. And I'm just really proud to present this person through the studio, to give him just a little moment where the lights and camera are on him, so that he just feels a little bit of specialness regardless of our current circumstance, about how big this moment really is. Like, seriously, how much, like, I promise you, there are people who are at the edge of their seat with the things that you make. You are unquantifiable. You are the second coming of Christ consciousness. You are larger than life, and you did it your own way, you know, and you remind us that we are really responsible for being individuals and being unique and being authentic and never conforming. And that's like literally what made me fall in love with you the second I met you, is this raging spirit that just didn't give a fuck. And I'm just so glad that, you know, people can learn through contrast in this way. Parents who feel like if it wasn't something that I could control and calculate and understand in terms of my child's path, that like they're still seeing a reflection of themselves at 28, you know, in their son, as they had, even if he is seemingly doing everything in an opposite and inverted fashion. So I'm really proud of you. I'm really proud of this album. It is the best. Like I said, when you have an artist that you love that works in classics, like everything they do is like instant classic. Like I was telling him on our walk, we did the preview on a walk, and I was just telling him, I was like, you know, I guess when you have an artist like that, like your favorite body of work from them is really just the one they're on now. And I'm just really glad that Slumpy Melatonin wants to continue to give us work in 2025. We're not worthy. We can barely read, but here you are giving us some of the most interdimensional work I've ever heard. Some other favorites that I feel like the studio claims about Slumpy Melatonin is that he is like the Maxinista of sampled and recontextualized music. So, you know, with Dennis, with Slumpy specific, more is more, and that's his vibe, you know. And I think there's so much room in the world for that. You do so much dirty work that none of us want to do in terms of cleaning up the fucking wastes of sound that exists, and you always give us something proper and truly larger than life. It's usually cinematic when it comes to Slumpy Melatonin. It's usually like orchestral. It's usually like surround sound with Slumpy. So he was the first, you know. I just want you guys to know he was the first. Before any of the other artists that you know on Dolphin Boy Records, it was Slump. And everybody back in Atlanta is proud.
Wow, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, so much.
Share some thoughts about your project. I mean, I've just kind of given the people a little bit of background, but I think you can just go into the specifics of like anything you want to say about the work. I mean, this is just
For sure. Yeah, I mean, it literally it's like hot off the press right now. Like I mean, yeah, I'm grateful that yeah, I mean, yeah, it's DBR 38 and the beat
39?
architect 39. Yeah, wow, yeah.
When you move so fast, you're like forgot.
I like honestly, yeah. There's it's 39 and yeah. I mean, for me, I feel like Slumpy to have like the 15th album for Slumpy Melatonin is I'm taking it, and like I was telling you on the walk, like this one is not. I feel like a lot of my works under that alias, like that was really the artist that founded the label and started everything. But I feel like a lot of what was I feel like I had to make was a lot of just things that were part of my healing journey, and just and I feel like right now I'm so grateful.
We're with you, like we're right on the edge of like I want you to really know. We were just talking about this on the walk, like when you're in survival mode for like pretty much your whole concept of your life, life in survival mode and life when you're living life to like experience everything that comes with it is like a very different pace. And I kind of announced on the studio like we're in the new world now, so we're not even where we were a day ago, and so just bear with us as we're like getting used to like opening up. This is a Cancer moon in real time, so like let's just like be easy, okay? Cancer's trying to unclench, but it's not overnight. And nothing we're talking about is a light summation at all.
I mean, you're right. I feel like I'm taking this in, and I'm like I'm open to it's definitely an opening up experience for and I feel like my Cancer shell is definitely always I feel like I gotta like really work with it, and it takes time sometimes to get to but at the same time right now I feel like the experience of like breathing this specific album, like I mean today was just it was really just like the frequency today was high, like the new world like energy I feel like really hit and was felt at so many different points. And honestly this album was like there was a lot more ease to this than most of my albums that I feel like I've got to produce, and that I'm grateful for, because it's I mean it's I just wanted I feel like I've been meditating on this one for a long time, and to have something that just like felt good to in the process of channeling it and releasing it was nice, because I feel like it's a range of experiences every time. I mean 37 and 38 were I feel like such a different experience. That those being two that just I feel like the eclipse was doing like a lot of different there was a lot of different energies, and also the state that we're in right now just being so specific. I feel like it's I feel like we're just really filling up our cup with our higher self's energy, and like the energy of what we really are right now. And it's I feel like that's where I feel like that's really where this album I feel like I mean just that's really where this came from. Really just the experience of like I mean I only heard some of what you were saying, but just being I feel like the architect's son, that just like a lot of the prophecy that whether I like it or not is on I can't really I mean it's just going to be on me, or was always on me. I feel like is the thing that I feel like and right now I just feel like proud to be able to stand in that, like and this is where I feel like a lot of those I feel like those codes translate in me. That's where a lot of it is in what I do musically. And but I also just I don't know, I mean just
the biggest part of this is for you and me. For one day when you look back, there will now be at least a little, however long video that talked about what it was like when you dropped this, and it doesn't have a bigger significance. It's not a Pulitzer Prize speech award. Right. It's literally just because we go through this life so transformatively. We do it so quickly. It's always like happening with us, and I really do this for us because like I'm just like, if we don't archive some thoughts, I don't know. I see my older self so clearly looking back, like, who the fuck knows what the fuck I was talking about when I was talking about that. We're really about to be on some Bob Dylan Head Empty shit. So like,
thank you, because I feel like so much of like when I'm like in these like birthing portals with an album, I feel like a lot of times it's like there's so much energy that I'm experiencing through that, and then on the walk you were really helping me to just like be present in the experience of like receiving even what I'm doing, because I, even before had even published this, I was already on to channeling the next thing that I feel like, and sometimes that's like it's so beneficial for me to just like actually receive the medicine of my own medicine, and so thank you for this presence, because I really need it, and just to like I know I'm gonna want, a lot of times, when wherever I am, when I get to share something, it just matters. I know I'm gonna wanna. I always will look back at these albums and records for, and just they take me back to different moments of my journey. But I feel like to be able to have this, I know it's gonna be a gift. So yeah, and you're right. I don't have to. It's just that it's really all presence. I mean, everything was live and direct today, in the best way, but I feel that the energy of like really just of the new world, of like really arriving to new ground, and just this. Thank you so much for being with me, because I love you so much.
You know how much I love you. Don't make me cry.
No, it's like a light, it's a great vibe, because I feel
it wasn't always this. It wasn't always this. Like,
no, it wasn't. Damn. I mean,
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you.
I just am. You are so juxtaposed with like such a spirit of freedom and non-conformity, but you are like so Saturn ruled, like tradition and like upholding like familial values, like core sense of home really matters to you. So I just watched you live a lot of years feeling like defeated in those polarities. Like there's no way to bring the Capricorn and the Cancer together. There's no way to be an individual. There's no way to be an Aries rising. You know what I mean? Like, and like the future is now, like the moment where I wanted you to feel like you could do it all, like that's so my energy, which is like somebody tells me like, baby, it's not possible to do all that, and I'm gonna like try to do it all, and like I know for you, like it's not what most fucking bitches and Gen Z, Gen Alpha are like on, like this deep sense of like tradition and building something like structurally, and you have such a really deep, like I don't even have this, but you have such a big desire to like respect and uphold the tradition of craft. Like craftsmanship is like such a Honduran thing. Like it's such a, your people are the ultimate craftsman. There's just like, you do things the right way because someone came before you and defined that. And like, I know in your music, like it, like sometimes like this, you walk with like a sense of the curse of what your sound was. Like I think I watched you really be upset at how the sound was coming out, because it's inner child. It is the opposite of that. It's not linear. It's not even something you could repeat twice maybe. And I really want you to know that like nothing outside of us is going to let us know the world has changed, or that like we have changed, or like that we're in a different place. Yeah. We're not 20 anymore, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so I just, me and my delayed emotional responses, but I'm really happy that you feel like you don't have to perform it. You like, regardless of the fact that God is witnessing this with the camera, like, I cry every second of every day, but my waters need to pour out because I know that you are here now and you are safe to be who you are. Because it's really, you're not really like a lot of people. Like, you're not really for, like, you're not like someone that everyone like gets a piece of, really, or could even relate to. A lot of your values are very unique. They're traditional. Like, honestly, like, they are, like, you know what I mean? Like, this guy just like gets the most like traditional fucking best out of life. Like, your reputation is not really relatable. Like, you know, court a woman at 20, fucking get married at 26, like fucking build an empire by 28. Like, that's not fucking, nobody's doing that like anymore, you know? And you're like out here like really living that out, you know? And you even got my Aquarian ass, my alien ass, like on the fucking shit, you know? Like, I'm on the Saturn timing now, you know? And so it's like, I want you to really know that like the studio is so proud of you and is so grateful that you were the pioneer and that you do what you do. I am so glad for the people to hear this shit and run it up for real. Because, you know, it actually, in this age of like anti-conformity that turned into conformity, like, you're now the like anti-conformist. Like, conforming is kind of like anti-conformist now. So like being someone that like follows like a very beaten path, like just strictly does it prophetically, like is like actually like avant-garde now. So in a world of fucking influencers and fucking SoundCloud producers, you know?
Yeah, damn, for sure.
And how do you take the same tools as the SoundCloud producer? I just use that as a term because that's like so our generation. Right. But like, how do you take that when you're meant to be like a Bach? You're meant to be like, you know, Tchaikovsky and the shit. You know what I mean? Like, you're still a composer with the shits, even though you're using like these new world instruments, and you're trying to stay true to your composition nature while being like for the girls. You know, you're for the ladies, the ladies, and the, you know, shadies. So I love that about you, but you do something so innovative. So like, I don't even, you're you're my favorite artist. You already know that. So whatever.
I appreciate it so much. Like this, your words right now. Baby. Thank you, because nobody makes me feel more special
I'm just proud of this.
At a moment of like,
I know it's an ordinary moment.
No, but you're there. It's really not like, there's nothing ordinary about it, and I feel like you are grounding me in like always what the most special occasion that we're in, because there's nothing.
I know it's not even ordinary.
It's definitely nothing ordinary.
Like we're in the penitentiary, but it's not ordinary.
Yeah, for real. Like, and I feel like I've been in this position in the penitentiary, but it's not ordinary so many times. Like,
we're to Tory Lanez, like it's giving prison tapes.
Like we did, for
like,
real.
We're definitely like recording this on the prison phone.
Right, just dropping albums from.
Gotta drop the classic from fucking The Cell.
Right. Yeah, I mean
that's not new to us. We're true to
really
this.
Like, I mean, yeah, true. I feel like that's the origins of Slumpy for sure. Is like the fact that I'm still, it's crazy.
You are making your city proud.
I'm able to get like, anytime I can get an album out on this, I'm literally using the same instrument I've had like from the start, and I just feel like to me that's like, I'm grateful, because it's like.
Because God provides. You know what I mean? Like, none of us are going without.
Yeah, right. And I feel blessed right now to have this experience with you. You really are the only person I feel like anytime I get to, like, you're the person I want to experience any celebration with, because like
it's a special. It was definitely destiny that I got to be married to my favorite artist. That was definitely fated and destined. Cause I'm a fan. I'm gonna tell you, like, my energy's a groupie vibe. It's true. Like, I make my little shit, but I'm really like the best groupie. I get it from my mom. Sad shit.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's an honor right now to be in this environment with you. And, shout out to everyone that
No, shout out. No, forget them niggas.
But,
Shout out us.
Yeah, shout out us. Yeah, true.
Shout out us. Then
There's really
nobody
no one
else.
to shout
No,
out,
there's
yeah,
nobody
yeah.
to shout out. But
But
shout
like,
out us.
yeah, shout out you, because
Yeah, shout out me.
yeah, your energy is so special, so impeccable. And
You're a rock star. I can't wait to, like, again, we're doing it the cunty way. Like, maybe we need to clink, or maybe we clink nothing. Maybe we clink air to celebrate. Like, maybe that's the new wave. It's like you drop a fucking classic and do nothing.
Right. I mean, have a listening
like the
party
planet is burning. Like, calm down.
Yeah, take a walk, and that's the listening party. Like, just go. Yeah, right. Because I mean, yeah. But there's definitely nothing ordinary in this moment. Like, I feel how much like today was it's just really, the frequency was so high, and I mean, it's not even just about specifically what was it done or what it is. It's just, I feel like there was a new energy.
Yeah, you're a different breed. You're definitely like the apocalypse label exec. That's your frequency.
DVR,
DVR. Come find us when this shit collapses. Right. Type frequency.
For sure.
Oh. And it's like, we gotta look at. There's a fucking bug on your phone right now. You see it?
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh, crazy.
He's like walking on the album art. He's like, I love his song.
Damn, let me get man's out of here.
Let him get.
I'll bring him to the. Yeah, he's like literally walking like on top of the album. But
there's a literal little bug spirit that is like walking on his phone screen is just like on his album right now. Matter of fact, run it up. Dolphin Bullet Records on Bandcamp. Go run that shit up. Go buy my man's album for real.
Shit, The Beat Architect.
The Beat Architect out today. Out right now. So we're gonna pretty much probably wrap on that. Dennis is out here saving bugs. I'm out here seated. The Beat Architect out today. Slumpy Melatonin, the veteran in this shit. Like, we love you guys a long way. Thanks for letting me do whatever the fuck I want on this fucking archive. I don't know. These moments are literally for us. He literally just dropped his 39th album today. Like, that's the whole point of this. There's no, like, I'm sorry I didn't entertain you. Like, I don't know what to say. It's like a very personal moment. So, whatever. But, yeah, I'm just gonna let him come and... You want to say goodbye to the girls?
For sure. Yeah, thank y'all. And, yeah, peace. Run up the Beat Architect.
Run up the Beat Architect and buy the fucking catalog if you're fucking real.
For real.
Some of y'all act like y'all got it like that, then get it like that, bro.
Get it like that for real.
It's only like $39K right now. Buy it, bro. What?
Right. It's the lowest.
I know y'all not broke.
True.
It's the cheapest it'll ever be ever again. So run that shit up.
Yeah.
I think it'll probably be funny in like 2 weeks when it's like triple the price and we're like, remember when it was only $39K?
Yeah, you could have. Yeah. Right. So yeah.
But we're signing off here on Tethered Studios.
Yeah. We signing off.
Go run the fucking album up. Go run it up. Y'all know we'll put the links and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's really not shit to say.
There's nothing else to fucking say. Like, I was just telling him, I was like, this is literally just because, like, you just dropped your 39th album. Like, I don't know, like, what else. That's it. That's why we're, like, having to do something. Like, something, because I guess, like, for us, it could really be, like, I'm taking a nap, but I feel like it should be something, so. I'm proud of you, Beans.
Thank you so much. Shout out to the studios for real.
Shout out the fucking studio,
shout out
bro.
The fucking studio.
Shout out the fucking studio, bitch. We ain't no bitch in this bitch.
Hell no. Only fucking, for real. Like,
what other studio? What other studios doing this for their fucking artists, bro? Fake ass bitches.
Some fake ass bitches.
If you want to join Tethered Studios, you could get this too.
Yeah. Come join the militia. It's serious, bro.
So, anyways, we're fucking signing off tonight. We're blessed. We're gonna upload this right the fuck now. We gonna blast this shit on the channels. And that's it. We're probably gonna listen to it. Maybe make some love. I don't know.
Yeah, we're about to clink up.
Okay. We need to leave before it gets debaucherous. Word to Mr. Motion Pick. 215. Okay, fuck off.